G'day folks, Monday morning here, public holiday. That's why I'm shooting the vid, not at work. It's fantastic, really is. We're into autumn now and the weather's starting to cool off overnight. Hope you northern hemisphere guys are starting to get a little bit of warm weather and starting to thaw the snow out. Yeah, beautiful. God, it's nice. Alright, we might sneak into the shed because I've got a little bit to talk about. Yes, a little bit to talk about. Have a quick look at that, guys. That's my youngest son's little Hilux. We've been father and son project. We've been doing him up and we just fitted the bull bar off last night. He loves it. He's still on his L's. He gets his P plates around August, I think. So, little diesel. He loves it. Alright, well, I've still got the turbo hooked up. Fantastic. Engine out, turbo in. That's one of the benefits of a rear mount turbo. Oh, that's great. Alright, well, I've been talking to gurus, converter gurus, automatic transmission gurus, chewing their ears off, and they're all giving me good, consistent advice. It's all very, and it makes a lot of sense, and it's very consistent, which is what you want. You don't want some crazy scenarios thrown out there and that really don't make sense. Well, what they're saying is, if the converter was ballooning, which they highly doubt, you would get wear marks, and there's some telltale signs to it, guys. Now look at they said if it was ballooning, you would get wear marks right down into the bottom. See that slot there? And that's a sure sign that a converter ballooning would show, but it's not. Look at the shiny patch where it's been working on the pump. It hasn't moved at all. Now that's suggesting that the converter is getting pushed away from the gearbox, hydraulicking away. Now that leads to another possible, well, not a possible problem, but another problem, which is line pressure, excessive line pressure. Because once the fluid exits out of the converter, it makes a path into the cooler lines. So there's a few possibilities when it comes to excessive line pressure. See, I run 3 coolers in series, which may be fine for a certain power level. But once things get amped up, it may become a restriction. So that will raise line pressure, which will create more thrust on the converter. They do have a dump valve in these gearboxes. For some reason it may not be enough, or it could be sticky, we don't know. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to get hasty and start changing everything out, transmission coolers and that. I'm actually going to put a gauge, mount a gauge off the outside port of the oil cooler line, and it should be around sort of no more than 50 to 60 pound. Any more than that and you have a restriction or something's not happening, not right, which more than sort of that sort of pressure will push on your converter and create thrust wear on your engine. So I'm going to do that, rather than just start changing things out. I want to sort of learn and eliminate the problem, and and do some testing on it. So that's where it stands at the minute. I wouldn't mind putting a actual camera underneath. I noticed in one of these videos, in a video that I was alerted to, a guy had a camera under his gearbox mounted up under there, and you could see the converter moving in and out, and it looked like he had the same issue with line pressure. So I'm going to do some testing on that one, and we're going to address it. Whether it means maybe running different coolers, you can run them parallel, which means running them, like splitting the lines and running them through as one rather than in a series, because in a series will create restriction. So there's ways around it. You can actually put a dump valve off the cooler line and route it back into the transmission pan. That's another option. So there is options, there is hope. And we're just going to take our time, and we're going to learn and not make any expensive, hasty decisions that probably don't really need them. And that's what it's about. I don't like sort of wasting money unnecessarily, but at the same time I know where to spend the money. So you've got to sort of try and think a bit smarter, and just not rush into things so much. I know that this engine won't make the power of the other engine, but we're going to definitely address that gearbox before popping in that new engine. There's no way I will risk it. I want to get that sort of gearbox sorted, but I'm prepared to give it a test and learn off this with this engine, and get it all sorted, which is exciting. Did you see that there, guys? I pulled out the heater core. I think that's going to make Rob very happy. And I actually saved 3.2 kilograms in weight. Doesn't sound much, but it all helps. It all helps. I've got a funny feeling though, the weight that I'm going to pull out of the car with the bonnet, and I've got a few other little tricks and bits and pieces I'm going to do to it, will be offset by this weight of these heads. God, they're heavy. These alley heads are half the weight. There's actually a 21 to 2 kilo saving by putting those heads on. So if I can sort of get close to pulling out around 20 kilo out of the car, it'll offset those cast lumps, I should say. But anyway, well, that'll be alright. I'm not too fussed about it. They're not a bad head actually, nice solid head. So yes, alright, well, that's my little update for now, guys. I'll pop another vid up soon when that, hopefully when my little surprise comes. I can't wait, very excited. It's hard to not say anything about it, but all will be revealed. Alright guys, well, I'll catch you later.